this trouble? You know, why am I pissing off all these people around me? And we said, because you didn't spend 5 months learning how to play it. You just tossed yourself into the deep end, and we lost that customer. We lost almost every customer who did that. They left pissed off. They pissed off everybody around them because EQ is a collaborative game. A lot of these games are very collaborative. You work with other people, and when you're out there grouping with other people and they're not doing their job and they're killing you through negligence, it ruins your gameplay experience. You stop wanting to group with outside people. You start only wanting to group with people you know, and that limits the amount of time people actually play these games. You're supposed to be out there making friends and broadening the amount of people you know to have a support mechanism that keeps you playing month after month. And instead, we're narrowing it down. I mean, instancing. You look at World of Warcraft, how they've had to address this. You used to be able to spend coins to buy cool items in there. Money is almost meaningless in there now. It's all a token-based economy. You're going for every item, as you know. You pick it up, you can't trade it, you can't do anything with it. It's all bound specifically to your character because they're trying to get rid of the secondary, the gold farming, and all this resale. What this means is if I find a cool sword, I can't give it to my buddy. I can't give it to my guild member. I have to go out and do everything myself because they're having to combat this huge issue there. It gets rid of altruism. It gets rid of the cool hand-me-down effect, all because people are saying these are such monumental problems that are ruining our game economy for it. And you know, you talked about limited time trading, you talked about binding. People hate that. If they get something that they can't actually give to another person, they hate that. I mean, a visceral, strong reaction. They don't like not being able to do things with items they found. But that's become one of the only responses to keep things from just getting swamped. I mean, if you're really talking about a game like this, again, time-centric, item-centric, character-level development-centric, why don't you hand out the most powerful sword you can get in the game to every level 1 newbie? It takes away your sense of accomplishment. There's no better sword for you to get for the entire game after that. If you max out somebody in a role-playing game or a game like that, you max out their character, they don't play that long. People have been trained from decades, well, at least a decade or so, of playing RPGs that when you're done progressing, that's the end of the game. When you've maxed out everything and gotten all the cool stuff, game's over, you're done. Or giving that to them from day one, that just kills it. That takes away all of your progression and all the rewards that you can give your players. I mean, that's kind of a horrible, bad thing to do. And you know, that turns the games into very boring things. There's very little sense of achievement after that. Talking about secure delivery, I mean, secure delivery is a big thing too. But in this case, if you're talking about, you know, why do eBay, let's bring it into an authorized reseller, you can't ever say, we're only going to let these guys do secondary and not let all the rest of them do it. The market just doesn't work like that. If you have any ability for people to do it, even semi-legitimately, they're going to go out there and they're going to do it illegitimately as well. And just from cost of things, and I don't want to harp on China for this, but Chinese labor is equivalently so much cheaper than American labor because of the cost ratio. You will never ever, you know, you will get people there who are happy to make 40, 50 cents an hour worth of stuff, doing it and grinding it out and filling up your game with bots. And again, speaking from a very Western perspective and not a Asian perspective on that, that is very bad for the style in which Western MMOs and Western persistent games have been designed for. It's just, there's no really good secondary factor, or factor that secondary markets bring that actually help make these games better games, both for the amount, and I say better, meaning the amount of money that the people running the game can actually get, because their customers leave sooner, and because they have customers pissed off and leaving sooner from all the stuff happening around them.
So rather than restarting the whole thing in here, just a little historical thing. So when we founded the company initially, we had some pleasure and thought we would be the new eBay for virtual goods, and we thought this is such a cool idea. We make it like out of the game and then talk to game publishers for endorsements, and this would be exactly the right thing to do with a pretty smart tech and an escrow system. Try to basically bypass technical limitations and try to basically somehow provide an alternative to those old farmers, because we have seen all those big issues you have brought up around customer care, around security, around fraud, things like that. What we have seen when we talk to all those game publishers were that they all after tech said, oh, tech is cool, but we really want to have a secondary market, or also a primary market, or also a wallet, or just stuff in the game. And when we heard that, we pretty much changed our value proposition, moved into white label play, and focused on private market business and wallets and in-game monetization solutions, and they have worked so well. And since then, we had like the secondary market proposition somewhere in some drawer, but actually didn't really have any client partner where we thought does it really well. And right now, we're just working on one really incredible title going live in fall this year. And to me, this is a perfect secondary market because they do primary market item sales. It's a skill-based game. You can purchase yourself items, but those are only like fashionable items, like a nicer looking helmet or like a cooler looking weapon or whatever. So basically, it doesn't harm gameplay at all. It just makes you look special in the community. It's basically something like when you drive a car. I didn't drive a Lamborghini because I want to drive a Lamborghini because I want to look special just in society. And this is exactly the kind of principle these guys are using. And the next aspect is that like weapons have like serial numbers. So this means you have then the K47 number 999 that makes it very special. And then when you use it, you basically can like develop your weapon, make it look different. And therefore, you again create some perceived value in the community. And if you're somebody who is willing to spend money because you want to look outstanding in the community, then you may spend this money. And from a technology perspective, everything is just in the game. You don't have to leave. Depending on the market, it's either based on virtual money exchange or on real money exchange. And just during beta, the users have been so happy because they if you didn't have the money, you would just play the game, enjoying the game, improving your skills. If you did like it, if you did have the budget, you would just purchasing K47 number 1 or like helmet number 17 or like a super fancy Viking helmet in an ego shooter, which is totally weird, but it looks special. And and basically this just rather than just fighting problems, these guys were like proactively encouraging the secondary market and solving all those problems you have raised just up front. And from my perspective, this is the way to go forward. This is the way to address this 2 billion market, to make it a legitimate environment, to control the environment, and to really make all parties involved in this ecosystem part of the decision making and the control process, and therefore just be successful.
So one of the things you'd mentioned before is that you were having trouble keeping up. You play 3 to 4 hours a week, and you're talking about people playing 20 hours a week. I would posit that while that is definitely something that happens, not every game is for every person. If you're trying to fit in with a community of people that are playing 20 hours a week, and you're playing 5 hours a week, they are always going to outdistance you. And I don't think that we should have games that if this is really a game you like, I think that's just, you're in the wrong game. If you're playing a game that has, where your time investment is this and everybody else you're playing with is this, any game you play, you're playing Counter-Strike with that, you're going to get your ass kicked every day of the week because everybody else is going to be 90% better than you on that skill level. I think that's a real band-aid to say that this little bit here is actually going to keep the players playing there. They're still going to drop out for it. After their 3rd or 4th thing of trying to keep up by buying new things, they're going to realize they just don't have the time investment that everybody else in their group that they're playing with actually has for it. A huge part of these games is facing adversity over time with your group, finding the cool items, bringing them, that really engages you and keeps you playing over long periods of time. People don't form engagement with the UPS man. When the guy shows up and hands you the thing and it's done, there's no emotional investment in that. You don't remember the cool, blazing, glowing +5 87 sword that you found with your buddies that they had to go down to the depths of whatever dungeon and help you pull out. These are stories that keep people engaged over time. Every fanfare I've ever been to for any of these games, you hear people talking for hours and hours and hours about the time things went right and about the time things went wrong and all the stories. That's what keeps them together and playing. One of my favorite EQ memories ever was I went to a fanfare in Vegas. There was a group of about 15 people.